Great seeing you back for Devos. All this week, we've been looking at the subject matter, golden nuggets. And I've been talking about just how to do well, how to get to where God wants you to be with your goals and dreams. So what I want you to notice is this. Everything big starts with something little. Okay, now I'm really big into this subject. And the reason why, just about anything I ever started, I had absolutely nothing. Okay, so there goes my church work to serving God, personal life, and God will really bless us. Now, look with me in Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10. For whoever has despised the day of small things, don't despise little things. People look and go, oh, what's that? Like, what can you do with that? When I do business work, I do real estate, and I'm telling you, it drives me crazy. It just drives me crazy. And the reason why, I see good deals even now. I see good deals out there. I see some really cool ideas. I have to turn my head away, and I'm like, can't people see what I'm seeing? Like, I don't understand why some other people don't do that. And I tried to keep my eyes off it. If I look at it long enough, I'm just going to do it for fun. And so God will do great things if we will we'll take those small, powerful steps. Now look in Matthew 17, verse 20. Jesus said, if you have faith like a grain of a mustard seed. Now, why don't you notice this? Of course, a mustard seed is really tiny. But what Jesus is trying to tell us, he goes, I'm not expecting you to have like this unbelievable, superhuman faith. He said, if you just had a little bit of faith, this is what you could do. He said, you say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will be moved. And nothing will be impossible for you. Now, just so you know, he's not talking about a mountain. He's talking about a mountain in your life. A big problem's got to go out of the way. And this is something that God wants corrected. Okay, but we have to be willing to take the small steps in order to do that. I want to talk about Pastor Ron just for a moment. Years ago, Pastor Ron came to me, and he wanted to work in our church as a youth minister. Now, I'm going to say he had to be about 30 or 31 years old. I just wasn't interested because we were broke. We could barely pay our bills. So I said, well, you can if you want to do it for free. And he said, okay. So he just started working for free. So probably about 20 hours a week or 30. It was a little youth program going, trying to get this off the ground. He was doing a really good job. And finally the day came, we could give him a wee teeny little pay. And it just started that way. And he just worked his head off. He just wouldn't stop. Well, today, and I mean this, he's probably one of the greatest youth ministers, or the greatest youth minister in the city of Pittsburgh. And I mean that. Any church, anywhere, I challenge them. This man loves God, works for God, and what he produces is unbelievable. How did that start? With somebody starting working at a job where they didn't get a paycheck? Okay, that sounds kind of goofy, right? He did exactly what we're talking about here. Now, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. What happens is we see this really big goal. But this really big goal just seems so huge and like unattainable. But what you got to do is you got to break that big goal down into 1,000 little goals or 100 little goals. Wee little goals, little steps. Anything you're trying to accomplish, it's just steps. I always say if I was trying to go up to Coons Market up the street and you were going to drive everybody, you could be there in a couple of minutes. It would take me maybe 40 minutes if I was walking real slow. Okay, but even if I'm going real slow, I'm going to get there, right? As long as I don't quit. And that's what the Bible here is talking about. Great ideas seem to be impossible to you, but little goals truly add up. But when you're looking at the big picture, you get paralyzed by it. Listen, don't do that. Break it down into those small goals. Look, little is much when God is in it. Let me ask you, do you believe in that? Okay, so this is what I want you to do. Here's your homework assignment. I want you to come up with a plan. Remember, write the goal down at the beginning of the week. Break it up in a whole bunch of steps. Okay, that's your first step. And then the next step is just day by day, week by week, start walking the steps. Listen, winning starts with beginning. So I want you to begin today.